All right, better booty, month 1, week 2, day 1. For this, I'm going to be doing a 10-minute EMOM where I'll be alternating between 15 hip thrusts and 10 single leg deadlifts per leg. So the first minute you do the hip thrust, the second minute you do the single leg deadlifts, back to the hip thrust, then back to the single leg deadlifts until that 10 minutes is up, followed by a 10-minute AMRAP. That's as many rounds as possible of these 3 exercises. I have 4 pull-ups, 8 burpees, and 12 goblet squats that I'll be doing for that. And for these pull-ups, I'm going to be doing assisted pull-ups today because I have a little stitch in my shoulder. Always want to make sure that you don't overdo it. If you have a little stitch, make some modifications where you need to train smart and still stay on track. And followed by 2-minute rounds. For those 2-minute rounds, I'm going to have 2 minutes of a cardio option. For me, it's going to be the bike, but if you don't have those kinds of cardio options, like a rower or a bike or ski erg or any of those kinds of things, you can use burpees, mountain climbers, jump rope, anything that's going to get your heart rate up, and then set yourself a time limit or a certain amount of reps for those types of things if you don't have access to equipment. So I'm doing the cardio fast, followed by 2-minute man makers, followed by plank variation. I'll likely do the push-up plank, but you can do side planks and switch back and forth for the 2 minutes. You can do your standard on your elbows plank or a standard push-up plank, however you like. You can also do those on your knees, but 2 minutes of each of those, finishing with a 500-meter row. For myself, it'll be 500 meters. I'm trying to keep that 500 meters to just about 2 minutes or just under 2 minutes. So if you don't have a cardio option, maybe just set yourself a timer for 2 minutes and choose some other way to get that cardio finisher in there. So that's what I'm doing today. If you want to join me, feel free. Let me know how it goes, and should be a good time. Let's do it. Hip thrusts. They're one of my favorite exercises because they really target the glutes. You want to get yourself into position with your back on your bench. Your shins are going to be perpendicular with the floor. Once you're in position, you want to keep your chin in neutral position, like you don't want to have it way back or really tucked in. You want to keep it nice and straight. You're going to maintain this position of your head as you bring your hips down to the floor. And visualize like moving from your sternum down rather than swinging. So you move down, lock it out, hold for a second, come back down, lock it out, hold for a second, come back down for 15 reps. All right, single leg deadlift. I'm going to show you how I do them. I suppose people do them other ways, but I like to start with my knee up, dumbbells in both hands, and you're going to bring your fist straight down to the floor and hinge at the hip. So as you bring this leg back, you come down. Notice my arms remain straight, and I'm going to straighten my leg. One thing you want to do is not lock out the leg that you're standing on. There should be a slight bend to it. And then you come back up. This toe stays pointed to the ground when I go back so that I'm not opening up my hips. My hips are staying neutral as I come down. You can straighten your leg once you get all the way out there. And then I finish by bringing my knee back up. And then you would switch and do the other side. In today's workout, I'm doing assisted pull-ups because I have a little stitch in my shoulder. So you want to wrap your bands around your bar. Pull that nice and tight. Pull your bands down, slip your foot in. Carefully bring your foot to the floor. Get your arms in position. You can do standard pull-ups or you can do chin-ups. Standard pull-up, like so. If you're going to do a chin-up, you would have your hands supinated. Pull yourself up. So 4 reps. Come all the way down.
and all the way up. And carefully bring your foot out of the bands. Burpees. There are many ways to do burpees. You can jump back, you can step back, you can do it with a push-up, you can do it without a push-up, you can do it with push-ups from your knees. Lots of ways to do it. But I'm just going to show you the way that I do them. So you come down to the floor, I jump back, you do your push-up, you jump back in, jump up and clap. So you do that 8 times. Like so. Goblet squats. For the goblet squat, I'm going to be using a 20-pound kettlebell, but you can use dumbbells as well. You're going to pick up your kettlebell. My feet are about hip width apart, and you're going to squat down just like you would for a regular squat, pushing your knees out as you come down. And you want to come down as low as you can, maintaining a fairly straight back, and then back up. So I'll show you from the side. Again, about hip width apart. Come down as low as you can. Notice my torso is still pretty upright. I'm not bending over. I'm not leaning back. And then back up again. So 12 of those babies. Man makers. I really love man makers because it puts a lot of different moves into one killer exercise. So you have your dumbbells in front of you. They are parallel to each other on the floor. Essentially, you start by reaching down and doing a burpee. So come down, do your burpee. From here, you can either do a push-up from your normal push-up position, or you can do them from your knees. Come up, spread your legs out a little bit further. Do a row, jump in, and as you're swinging your dumbbells, you're going to come up onto your shoulders and then pop it up, pushing your head through, just like you would for an overhead press. Again, come down, do your push-up, do your row, jump in, and up overhead. And that is the man maker. Just as with burpees, there are a lot of ways to do planks. You can do push-up planks, forearm planks, military planks, side planks. Whatever plank you decide to do, you want to hold that position for 2 minutes, 3 times. So whichever one you decide to do. So your push-up plank, you want shoulder, elbow, and wrist to be in alignment. You're engaging your core. You can have your feet together, or you can have them further apart. It's up to you. Same thing with forearm planks. All of this is in alignment. Core is engaged. You can do military planks where you're in a push-up position and you come down and back up. You can do those for 2 minutes. Or you can do side planking. Or you can do a mix where you side plank and then you do a push-up, plank, and then do another side plank. 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, switching it back and forth as you will.